A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science. And students, as you know, we were doing the 8th chapter of your first book, and the name of the chapter is local governments. And we had already finished two parts of this chapter, and today we shall be starting the third part. And in this third part we shall continue the topic which we were doing in the second part, that is we were doing 73rd constitutional amendment. And we were also seeing, under that we were seeing the changes which have been brought up to the Panchayati Raj institution after this amendment in 1992, and which was implemented or came into force in 1993. So before I move forward and continue the same topic further, I shall just take a quick revision what we have done in the second video. So as I told you, that we had started the 73rd amendment. As I told you, we have to study two amendments, that is 73rd and 74th. 73rd amendment is for the local government of the rural areas, and 74th amendment is in relation to the local governments of urban areas. So we are doing the 73rd amendment, which means we are studying about the changes which have been brought about in the Panchayati Raj institution. So we studied about three-tier structure, and this three-tier structure, as I told you, at the base level we have Gram Panchayat, and at the second level we have block samitis, and at the top level we have Jila Panchayat. So these three levels we have to study, and these were the changes and which were mandatory for all the states to maintain this local government and all these three structures. Then we had studied about the election system, that how elections will be held, what will be the time period, okay. And this is important, we had studied completely in detail about the reservations, maybe for the women's, for the SC, STs, OBCs, for all the categories. We have seen this in detail. Then another important topic we had seen is the transfer of subjects. The subjects which used to be authorized and under the control of state government were now given to the local government by the constitution. So now the proper recognition has been given to the local government or the Panchayati Raj system in the rural areas by the constitution, and according to that these 29 subjects which used to be in the state list have been transferred to the local government, or we can say to the Panchayati Raj system. So now continuing further with the same topic, this is a part third word, and we are studying about the 73rd amendment of the constitution, okay, in relation to the Panchayati Raj institution. The provision of 73rd amendment was not made applicable to the areas inhabited by the Adivasi population in many states of India. So there are many states in India where lot of population, a huge amount of population of Adivasi people are living in those areas, but this system or the 73rd amendment was not applicable or enforced to these areas. So still the areas which were inhabited by the Adivasis, most of the population was Adivasi living there, in those areas still this Panchayati Raj system was not made mandatory or enforceable, okay. So in 1996, so you have to remember this date, this is separately, and this is for the Adivasi population living in certain states of India. So in 1996 a separate act was passed extending the provision of Panchayati system in these areas. So in 1996 a separate act was passed to maintain this local government in these Adivasi living areas also. Many Adivasi communities have their traditional customs of managing common resources. As we know, these Adivasi communities focus on their rich culture, heritage. They want to protect their customs, religion, and their heritage. So they were given protection by these new acts. It's written here, many Adivasi communities have their traditional customs of managing common resource such as forests, small water reservoirs. So all the rights and were given to these people to maintain their resources relating to forests and water reservoirs, as they are totally dependent for the raw materials and for their livelihood on the forests and water reservoirs. Therefore, the new act protects the right of these communities to manage their resources in a way acceptable to them. So, an act was passed so that these Adivasi people could protect their rights. Okay, for this purpose, more power are given to the Gram Sabhas of this area. Okay, so protect their own rights. So they are also having Gram Sabhas, and these Gram Sabhas have been given power by the constitution. Okay, more powers are given to the Gram Sabhas of these areas. Elected village panchayat has to get consent of the Gram Sabha in many respect. The idea behind this act is to local. Okay, so there are also elected Gram Sabhas, Gram Panchayats, who looked into the development and protection of the rights and values and customs of these Adivasi people. Okay, so this was also the work, we can say, which was undertaken during the 73rd Amendment, Constitutional Amendment. Now the important thing when we are talking about the Panchayati Raj institution, which is a rural local government, state election commissioners, let's see this. The state government is required to appoint a state election commissioner. So after this amendment of 73rd constitutional amendment for the Panchayati Raj institution, constitution has also given the made the provisions where state governments are required to appoint a state election commission who would be responsible for conducting elections to the Panchayati Raj institution. So whenever the elections are held at the Gram Sabha or Gram Panchayat, or we can say at Panchayat Samiti or at the Jila Panchayat, these are conducted by the election commissioner who is being appointed by the state government. Okay. Earlier, this task was performed by the state administration and was under the control of state government. Previously, it was done by state administration. There was no election commissioner previously before the amendment. Now the office of the election commissioner is autonomous like the election commissioner of India. Like there is an election commissioner of India, in the same way at the state level we have election commissioner of a particular state who looks after the conducting of elections at the Panchayati Raj institution as well as municipalities. However, the state election commissioner is an independent officer and is not linked to or nor is this officer under the control of election commission of India. He is a independent body. He is not connected to any political party or any government. Okay. Now moving forward, the next important part under this act or under this amendment, 73rd amendment, is state finance commission. As from its name you can understand, its work and its structure is totally based on the finance of the state or the local governments, or distribution of funds, we can say. The state government is also required to appoint. So it is also the responsibility of the state government, again according to the constitution, that they have to appoint a state finance commission once in a 5 years. So every 5 years they have to once appoint a state finance commission. This commission would examine the financial position of local governments. So it is not that they will allot the budget or the funding to any government, but they will do a complete study research work of all the local governments or in the state, in a particular state, and accordingly they would also review the distribution of revenues between the state and local government. They will also look into the distribution of revenues and funds between the state government and the local government on one hand, and on the other hand they will also see to the distribution between rural and urban local government, as there are two type of local governments: rural, which is our Panchayati Raj institution; urban, which I have told you, municipalities. So it is also the responsibility of this state finance commission to see to the distribution between these two local governments. This innovation ensures that allocation of funds to the rural local government will not be political matter. It means this distribution of funds or allocation of resources, there is no interference of any political party or any political leader in it. It is the sole responsibility of the state finance commission. So with this we come to the end of the 73rd amendment of our constitution in relation to Panchayati Raj institution. So all these were the changes which were brought after this amendment, 73rd amendment, which was forced in 1993. Now we'll see the 74th amendment, which is in regarding the urban local government, which is we can also call about municipalities. So now let's begin this 74th amendment. As we mentioned earlier, the 74th amendment dealt with the urban local bodies or Nagarpalika. So 74th amendment is meant totally in regards to the urban local bodies, or in Hindi we call it Nagarpalikas. Okay, municipal corporations, municipal councils, all these. In Hindi we call it Nagarpalika. Okay, what is an urban area? So first question is, what an urban area? You know it very well. It is very easy to identify a big city like Mumbai or Kolkata. Okay, if I tell you this name the big cities, so it will be very easy for you to name big cities like Mumbai or Kolkata, but it becomes somewhat difficult or confusing when state or the urban area is very small. When a urban area is very big like Mumbai or Kolkata, it is easy to denote that they are cities. But once these small urban areas are there, it is difficult to say that these are cities or urban areas or rural areas, because these areas are between villages and towns. When some areas are between a village and a town, it is difficult to denote that it is a urban place or a rural area. So what is the function? See the consensus of India, how to identify. So we identify or we define an urban area as having. So in India we define any urban area as if a minimum population is for 5,000. If any, at least this should be the number of the population living in an area. Or second point, at least 75% of the male working population engaged in non-agricultural occupation. The total population of a particular place, out of that 100% population, 75% of the males should be engaged in the non-agricultural activities. So they should be doing or involved in the activities which are other than agriculture. And the third is the density of population of at least 400% per square kilometer. So per square kilometer there should be at least 400 persons living. So these are some of the categories according to which we categorize some area as an urban area or a rural area. So these are some of the conditions according to which we call a particular area as an urban area. As per the 2011 census, about 31% of India population lives in urban area. If we talk about the whole India, in the last census of 2011, that it was calculated that around 31% of Indian population was living in urban areas. Not even 50%, only 31%. So now this was in relation to the urban areas. Now let's see. In many ways, the 74th amendment is a repetition of 73rd amendment. So you don't have to study anything different for the 74th amendment. All the changes which have been brought in the 73rd amendment of Panchayati Raj institution, same amendments, same changes have been brought to the 74th amendment for the Nagarpalikas or for the urban local governments. Okay, so we can say it is 74th amendment is a repetition of the 73rd amendment. It is repeated again, except what is the difference? Except it is it applies to the urban area, as 73rd applies to the rural area, 74th amendment applies to the urban area. This is the little difference. Other provisions are and the changes are same as they were in the 73rd amendment. Like we can say all the provisions of 73rd amendments relating to direct elections, reservations, transfer of subject, state election commission and state finance commission are incorporated in the 74th amendment also. All these changes relating to state election commission, state finance commission and direct elections, reservations, they all have been repeated same in the 74th amendment also. Does apply to, but they apply to Nagarpalikas. That and in 73rd amendment they belong to and they apply to, as we know, to the Panchayati Raj system, and they belong, and 74th amendment belong to Nagarpalikas. The constitution also mandated the transfer of list of functions from state government to the urban, and in the same way constitution under the 74th amendment act has also mandated and made compulsory for the state government to transfer the list of functions from state list to the urban local bodies, and these functions have been listed in the 12th schedule of the constitution, and the functions which are there for the urban local bodies, they have been written down in the 12th schedule of the constitution. So with this we come to the end of this topic, which in which we read about the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment in relation to the local governments. And when we talk about the local government, it means I'm talking about both rural areas as well as urban areas. In rural areas we call it Panchayati Raj institution, and details we have already done. And in the same way, when we are studying about the urban areas, we call it Nagarpalikas or urban local government or municipal corporation, municipal council, and details I have already done in the first part of this chapter, chapter 8, where I had explained you in detail about the local government, Panchayati Raj. I have shown you the various structure of Panchayati Raj and also the structure of this urban local bodies. Okay, so in the next video we will try to cover and see this implementation of 73rd and 74 amendments. As till now we have seen what were the changes which were implemented to 73rd and 74th amendment by the constitution in 1992. Okay, this this was implemented in 1993, but we'll see what were the implementation of 73rd and 74 amendments. We'll see in the next video. Okay, I hope you must have understood this, and this is an important chapter for you. Keep making in the notes also. This we'll do in the next part. Till then, thank you.